can't believe I'm regretting not watching more isekai anime. How the heck do I get back to the real world? Oh.
The blood of my father calls to me. The ghost of my grandfather calls to me. Here in the jungle, I hear them in my mind. The trees whisper to fight for what's mine, to bring low the gorilla king strong. Take the usurper's head off, make him cower before me in fear. I hear my father's voice call out. I hear him call from the grave. Blood rains across the land, the old usurper lies. Dead his blood sprays across my face, his head lies at my feet. At last, the throne is mine, the kingdom is mine, my father reigns. Silent in his grave, at peace once again. Take the usurper's head off, make him cower before me in fear.
I call that end metal, END. What do you think of it, Tim?
It's fine.
Like, it's the end of metal. It's like AI does the music, you write the song, and then you ask people to make that song into a real music. Like, they take their instruments, they find a vocalist, and across the internet, right? People put their own little someone plays like the guitars, someone plays a drum, someone plays a synth, someone plays the bass, and then there's a vocals, right? And now you don't have AI music, you actually have a real group of people, human beings, singing my song that I wrote the way I want it, sung as as like
Well,
a band by real
so you're
people.
a songwriter then.
Yeah, I've been writing poetry since like forever, dude. Like maybe about 30 odd years since I started getting into music and seriously into music, just coming up with poems, lyrics and shit. I'd like go to concerts and then when I got tired of standing on my feet, I'd go into the corner and get my notebook out and start writing, like lyrics along with the band that was playing. Not always, but every now and then. So how you been, man? How's everything going on your side of the world in the North Americas?
Um, it's going fine. I'm watching. Well, I'm keeping myself informed about the Super Bowl.
Right. And how's everything else?
Um, it's pretty okay.
All right. So
Nothing to
today,
complain about, really.
hmm. Well, that's a good thing, right? When you're happy and things are going well, you tend not to complain, and so you feel better, right? How things are and stuff. So I I've been collecting stuff to talk about. It's one of those things that you kind of go, life is a bit strange, dude, and some people are stranger. So today's theme is disposable heroes of hypocrisy. Did you ever hear that band by that name?
Hero, you mean somebody that I thought was kind of cool, and then I found out they're kind of a hypocrite?
Yeah, kind of like Rage Against the Machine, you know, uh, and people who just do, they say stuff, and then after a while they seem okay, and then after a while they seem like they're somebody else. And I've mentioned before how I hate being a hypocrite myself, right? And and that's something that I look out for in myself. If I'm a hypocrite, if I'm a liar, I try to make sure that I am honest about shit. But sometimes I find like I think you give people enough rope, they say, and after a while they out themselves, which is kind of weird.
I'm not be off the bat, but like Rob Liefeld was a pretty huge hero of mine back in the day, and then I find out he's kind of crazy.
Right? Yeah. In
Yeah,
what
he's like,
way?
well, he's like a mix of like old man cranky and ADHD hyper.
I'm kind of like that. I'm OCD. I have a little bit of OCD in me, and also a bit of ADHD because shit happens when you're a kid, and it makes your brain becomes misaligned to normality. So here's someone. Let me see if I can get in here a bit more. Like, there we go. Oops, no, it's not going to work. So this 500-pound internet star. How do you become a 500-pound internet star, bro? Uh, decided to internet leftist star, right? Uh, Jaylene Cheney is lifted into a police van by 6 cops, bro. During her arrest, Cheney was arrested outside of Trio Southbridge Hospital in Kennewick, Washington. Hey, is that next to Seattle somewhere?
Kennewick. I've heard of Kennewick. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, Washington. So I thought it might be next to Seattle. So in February 2025, for assault after throwing a series of punches at a group of officers. See, here's something that a lot of people don't understand is that when you go to a cop, like when a cop pulls you over, a cop asks you a question, you just answer them politely. When you start pissing them off, they start getting pissed off. It's like any human being, right? You get into an argument with somebody and you don't back down, they back, it just, what is that called? It's when you aggravate the situation more and more, and so people get a bit more and more aggravated towards you. So this chick started punching police officers, dude. It's crazy. Let me see. Is it going to play for me? What's it going to do? So Daily Mail reel. Okay, come back.
Is it a
Oh, here we
case
go.
of
Sorry. Carry on. Sorry.
is it a case of fuck around, find out?
Yeah. I think she got knocked out. So this is like last February. So it's a year ago, right? It just came across on Facebook yesterday. So this is what the Daily Mail reported. Let me see if I can get rid of this text. No, it doesn't want to get rid of the text. So let's hear this out. Wait. It's not. Where's my sound, man? It was sound.
Yeah, because I want to.
Oh, here we go.
911!
Here we go.
I'm having a mental health crisis. But I'll talk to the EMS.
That's probably good.
I'll talk to the EMS. 911!
Walk.
I'll kill you guys.
Walk.
Yeah, because I want to. 911! They're me! They're trying to me start.
That is the last thing that we will ever do. Get in the car.
Oh my god!
Wait.
Whoa!
Thing that we will ever.
Did you hear what she said? Because I missed it. She said some crazy stuff.
Yeah, because I want to. 911! They're me!
Oh my god. They bleeped it out because she said they're raping me.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was. And that's why the guy cops responds with, that's the last thing we'd want to do to you. Hail chat, hail viewers, thank you for hanging out with us. Welcome.
Here's a
Welcome
question.
to the
Why is
Monkey
it?
Show.
Why
Sorry,
is that
sir.
something they? Yeah, that's all right. Why is that always something they always yell at when they want to get somebody in trouble? They always make up a scenario and they start yelling it.
Tim, your nemesis has shown up.
Oh, I know. He's jealous of me. That's all.
Yeah. Hey, I got me someone made me their nemesis today. That's the second person online that I've become a nemesis of. All right, playing this through again. So here's a cop's response because she said, 911, they're raping me, right? And he goes,
They're trying to me start.
That is the last thing that we will ever do. Get in the car.
Oh my god! Whoa!
Go ahead and stand up.
I can't. I'm having a mental health crisis. But I'll talk to the EMS.
That's probably good.
550 pounds, bro. This is what I worry about. And I've always been thin all my life is because, and I'm even down to 2 meals a day now, because I worry that I will get to the stage where I can, if I ever get to the stage that I will not be able to, I'll be dead in my own, in my bed and nobody would ever know I was dead. That scares me. Well, now that I love my life and I want to live forever as long as I can, right? Live healthy. But that kind of scares me, like whenever I see people this big, even around 250, man, that's huge. That sometimes you feel like, when did you forget that you should control your weight, eat vegetables, right? Take out fat food out of your body, out of your, out of your eating, whatever you call it. What is that called, man? Diet. It's called diet, Jim. That's right. It's called diet.
Sorry, I was muted. I was gonna say diet.
I beat you to the punch. Okay, so jealous. Elismat says jealous. Why are you slandering me, Tim? Why are you slandering him, Tim?
It's not slander. It's a fact.
All right. So here's they can't lift her out. There's like the fact that you need 6 people to lift you, bro.
And they cannot move me at all because I am 550 pounds and I'm a disabled woman. I'm a disabled woman.
I don't think she's disabled. She's just mentally ill and unhealthy and has chosen to be unhealthy since whenever she stopped being 100 pounds. right? I think she decided that her life had no value and that she was going to be her own. She ain't going to need no man. Because here's the thing about females who make themselves look ugly is because they hate themselves. Same to males, by the way. And I'm talking like I used to do this to myself as well when I hated myself, right? Because I had some, a childhood trauma, and I'd go through depressions. I would seriously do things to myself because I felt ugly inside. And until you get that sorted out, your insides will work itself out into your outsides. So now you have a 550-pound lady here. I don't know why this freaking thing isn't got so much text here. It's annoying me, right? And it's covering a lot of what's being said here. Surely, oh yeah, okay. Even then, it's too much. So let me play this. Hold on, what's this? Okay.
And they're trying to kill me. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I can't breathe. I can't. Hey, I can't breathe. Hey.
Lady, you can't breathe because you're 555 pounds. Your whole neck is your throat. Your throat doesn't exist, and the fat's going to push down on your throat. That's why you can't breathe. And by the way, Floyd couldn't breathe is because his body was full of freaking drugs.
If you weigh that much, you probably shouldn't resist police. That's what I'm saying.
You shouldn't even try punching police and saying that you're going to kill them. That's a death threat. Yeah.
How would you kill them? Fall on them?
Dude, imagine 550 pounds of lard on you, bro. How do you get up after that?
You might as well beg for death.
I don't think I've ever lifted that much, even when in my teens when I was boxing training, right, and weight training. I don't think I ever even got to that stage of being able to lift that. I think the most I could do was 120, and that was only because I only spent 6 months to a year doing that.
I can't breathe. I'm not. What the? I'm what the? Jalen Cheney. Jalen IGR Cheney.
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
1696. Call 564-653.
I'm coming to you guys.
7243. 7243. I'm already in mental health crisis. But I'll talk.
They had to get a van to take her away. A van, bro. They had to get a police van to take her away. All right. We're going to move on to...
Before you do that, how many people does a police van hold?
Maybe about a dozen, 8, depending.
So it took a vehicle that was meant for a dozen people to haul away one incredibly fat person.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think people, when you get to a place where weight size that says, hey, this is the average person in your age group for height and stuff, that's when you go, okay, I think I should just watch my weight from now on, right? I should not try to eat like garbage and stuff, and maybe not eat fast food 4 times, 5, 6 times a day. I remember my nephew when he was little. This is back in about maybe 2000, and his mother would keep taking him to fast food for dinner. And one time she took, we were visiting, and I didn't realize that's what she was doing. And because his mom was like a freaking huge. Oh well, she wasn't at that point. She was just putting on weight. Now she's just like freaking huge, bro. Almost like maybe around about 400. And the crazy thing is that I was like, why are you always taking him to fast food? Let's just cook dinner at home. It's like, we don't want to eat fast food. We don't eat fast food. We cook our own meals, right? And but yeah, so we went to Taco Bell, and that was the first and last time I had Taco Bell, by the way, into the 2000s, because I'd never been. And yeah, and then so now, when I think he had put on like maybe like 50 pounds extra or something at that time, and like he was twice the size that a 10-year-old, 12-year-old kid should have been, right? And now he's a handsome, young, physically fit male, right? Solid, and about to get married this year in May. And imagine if he had kept going, and his whole life, and just the way his body was, just he continued eating that way. If I hadn't stepped in and say, hey, this is not cool, right? I mean, stop feeding your son junk at 12 years old.
I'm looking at this picture, and is this guy going to be an asshole?
Oh yeah, this is another FAFO. I saw this guy do the post a couple of weeks ago, and this is a result of that guy's post. So this is this is lefties, FAFO. So this is I am Antifa.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
It's amazing how that works, right? If you never mess around, you never find out. If you never, man, I wish they'd just take that advice. Now, tonight, we're looking at a chain reaction that started with rhetoric, escalated into disruption, spilled into the streets, and ended exactly where escalation usually ends. And that's what this thing called consequences. Roll it.
My name is Kyle.
So this is the video I saw, right? This guy was like totally unhinged, threatening, right, on live stream and telling people to arm up to take out ICE officers, right? It was crazy, bro.
Gee, what possibly could happen? Sarcasm.
Such a tough dude, right? Like, just look at that. Such a tough dude. Now, I ain't got nothing against dudes wearing skirts and all that, but if you want to come out and go, you're a tough dude, and threaten other people to murder them, and tell other people to arm up to kill other people on live stream and video, like, seriously, I don't know, bro. I think I think something is not working.
Antifa, and there's so much.
This thing called consequences. Roll it.
My name is Kyle. I'm Antifa, and there's so much rage in me that I've had to record this like 15 times trying to get the message out. They fucked up. Okay? Go watch my other videos. Doesn't matter if you're not here and you're not caught up. You've missed the fucking fight. But if you are, it's time to suit up. Boots on the ground. Nicollet and fucking 26th. My house is 4 blocks away. Anywhere between Franklin and Nicollet and 26th and Nicollet. Show up, ready to go. Okay? Not talking about peaceful protests anymore. We're not talking about having polite conversations anymore. I am talking specifically to my fucking followers. This is everything I have fucking talked about, and this is exactly what I said was going to happen. This is exactly what I said was going to fucking come when we didn't fucking go and march on fucking Whipple with guns. Sorry, but welcome to America 2026, where Second Amendment is the only thing that's going to keep you fucking protected from literal fucking Nazi gunmen that are killing innocent people in the street with impunity. This is not a fucking joke. There's nothing fun to chant about it. Get your fucking guns and stop these fucking people.
I thought the left was the progressive, peaceful people. I thought they were the ones.
They like to think so, but they'll never admit that they're full of shit. So.
But the thing is, I've always known the left is like this, right? It's taken me a while to come around to the center, because I used to be, and I still consider myself a classic liberal, right? Not a leftist, a liberal. And there's a difference. And now we're just like centrists, right? It's like if you're a centrist, then you're considered a far right Nazi to these people. You know, if you just want to talk and calmly remove illegal pedophiles, rapists, criminals, killers out of one's country, then you're a right wing. Isn't that strange, bro?
Very odd indeed. And they'll commit acts of violence, and then they'll be obsessed about one person in particular, and act like they're the heroes in their scenario.
Yeah, the thing is, like, when people say on the right side of history, I kind of hate that. It's like, who gives a fuck about history? It's like, now, just do good to each other, right? You know, speak out for truth and justice and the human way, right? Because I think we've forgotten that how I shouldn't say human, but I'm saying it because I'm not American, right? For humanity's true way, right? For life. And it just seems like people are gotten to the stage where they don't love humanity. They don't love people. They just want to spread hate and violence. I mean, I know I talk about Islam a lot, and that's because it's a religion of violence and hate and rape and murder and pedophiles, right? So, and I've got evidence to back it up. It's not like it's not there, but these guys, they just lose themselves thinking that they're the anti-fascists, but actually they are the fascists. I've known this for about 5 years now, right? When I looked into these guys.
All right, buddy. Calm down. Y'all. Mr. Ma'am. This is where everything began, right? Not with arrests, not with protests, but with language, because rhetoric, it isn't just noise. It sets expectations. It signals boundaries, and sometimes it invites escalation. When someone publicly calls for confrontation, the system doesn't treat that like just commentary. No, that's when attention it shifts completely, from ideology to enforcement. And once enforcement enters the chat, the temperature changes. So, you know what we got to do? Let's keep moving.
Look at this white woman. Always the white leftist woman. All right. I'm looking at this hand, bro. Screaming, yelling, screeching. You know.
Bullshit.
Always with a whistle and noise. Always with the mobile phones, bro.
There.
I haven't seen badge numbers.
I haven't seen badge numbers.
I guess they finally got used to their grape whistle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. You know, these mask wearing, and they go about like the police, ICE officers, FBI, ATF, and all them wearing masks. But these guys themselves wear masks, right? And like they'll hide behind their mask and throw things at officers, at other people, right? Like we saw last time. They were swearing and calling this dude, the N-word, whatever, and then calling him a house N-word, right? And it was just crazy. I mean, it's always the white liberal leftist people, right? I wouldn't say liberal leftist people, right? Who basically behave like animals out here, man. And then they'll go, "Oh, it's my right to say so." Is it like First Amendment? or Second Amendment. What was the Third Amendment? What amendment is it that
First Amendment.
freedom of
First
speech?
Amendment.
First Amendment.
Yeah, and Second Amendment is supposedly supposed to protect free speech. Which I think it is. There's debate on both sides, but I kind of think all rights should be protected from people trying to take away rights from because they think they know better.
I mean, the great thing about America is it's got this Constitution, right? And that's like the final bill, whatever you want to call it, the final law.
Well, I mean, like I'll talk about like the governor of California wanted to make the kind of posts you post online, like you get fined for it, kind of like what they're doing in England. And tech company, he vetoed it only because tech companies say, you do that, we're going to sue you.
Did you not go through the front door because you don't have a fucking key? You didn't see our policies here?
I don't understand about these people, man. They think they're so tough. It's weird how they think that they're so tough. This is what really gets me about white leftist women, man. They're like hyenas, right? And then you put a bear or a lion in there, and they go, they shut up. But it's like it just annoys the hell out of me seeing all these videos. That's why I don't like playing them. It's just or watching them. It's just so annoying, bro, hearing their voices. Screechy, loud, whistles, just, full of shit.
Yeah, you can't get in here because you don't fucking live here. I live here by myself. How safe do you think I'm fucking gonna feel? How safe am I gonna fucking feel tonight? I live here. You can't tell me to fucking back up. You could have did it this is my home.
It's my home. This dude just threatened law officers, and he also threatened and invited other people to kill officers.
Yeah, well, when shit gets real, this is how these people react. They act like they have some kind of authority, which they don't, and they act ultra defensive, even when they're in the wrong.
I'm just gonna go forward here. The link for the whole thing's in the chat, but let me go to Vance, JD Vance. All right.
Which leads us directly to here.
We mentioned the press a minute ago. Someone who claims to be a member of it is Don Lemon, who's been arrested now.
The dumbest man in television.
Yeah, I mean, that's
formally
saying something. He's under arrest because he stormed a church in the middle of a Sunday service, along with a lot of other rioters, and disrupted people trying to worship. He's trying to cloak himself in the First Amendment, saying this is an attack on freedom of the press. And you say what?
Well, I say first, Don, no one's objecting to you standing outside of a church and protesting. No one's objecting to you no one's saying you can't protest the Trump administration's immigration policies, or frankly, our policies on anything else. What you cannot do is go into somebody's house of worship and prevent them from exercising their First Amendment right to the free exercise of religion. That's what happened. By the way, there's a federal law on the books that says you're not allowed to interrupt churches. You're not allowed to prevent people from entering or leaving a church. And the Biden administration aggressively prosecuted people. Where was Don Lemon when people were getting aggressively prosecuted for sham violations of the FACE Act? We have a rock solid violation of the FACE Act, which is you were sticking a microphone in the face of a minister during the church service while the people you were with were preventing people from leaving. That's a violation of the law. That's not about the First Amendment. You care about criticizing our immigration policies, then stand outside the church and protest. You don't get to violate other people's rights. And if you do, the Trump administration, we're going to try to do everything that we can to make sure you suffer legal consequences.
It's pretty clear, isn't it? Like it's straight up and down the middle, as they say. Now, on to the next video, right? So this is, oh geez. One thing that really annoys me is when people who are paid by taxpayers to represent their country go to compete in other countries or in that has nothing to do with politics, but sports and celebrities. And actually, what really pisses me off also is bands, right? When they go to other countries and talk about that other country's political things that are happening in that country, right? You can do whatever the hell you want and talk about in your own country about that, but it's like they're all the same. Like I remember Dixie Chicks did that, and then recently, a metal band that I actually like went to Australia called Testament, and they were going on about land rights with Australia that had nothing to do with them, right? But they were okay. We'll since we're here, let's bring that up. And it's like that's got nothing to do with you because there's things that are happening in that country that's got nothing to do with you. You came up here, you sold your tickets, people came to watch you play your music. Play the music, say hello, say goodbye, get off the stage, go home, right? Get on the plane, go home. So this is Team USA. And it was just, I think it was yesterday.
About what's happened in the United States when, I'm pretty sure you're referencing ICE and some of the protests and things like that. I think that as a country, we need to focus on respecting everybody's rights and making sure that we're.
You mean illegal rights, pedos' rights, rapists' rights, criminals' rights? This was like, was it 3 days ago? Yeah, 3 days ago. Sorry, I thought it was yesterday. I guess delayed.
It's just another celebrity who feels that everybody, since they're in the attention of the media, that somehow everyone needs to listen to them and that they're such geniuses.
Yeah, so this sports dude basically at the Winter Olympics goes, got asked a question. He didn't have to answer that question because, sorry, I'd like to just talk about us competing here and, and move on with that. But no, he's got to put his little political stance on it. But he's got to go. The thing about these, they all feel like they're ambassadors that have to give an answer when asked a question. It's like, you don't have to. You can just go, yeah, nah, not here to talk about that. I'm here to compete. Let's talk about us competing and hoping to win, right?
Treating our citizens as well as anybody with love and respect.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about the Winter Olympics because Team USA athletes have decided that they're going to bring their politics to the world stage in Milan, right? By essentially trashing America and the president doing interviews with the press, okay? And we got to talk about it because once again, these athletes are showing just how ungrateful they are to be Americans. And according to the New York Post, this has sparked an Olympic boycott, okay, or calls for an Olympic boycott after some athletes, like, for example, Mr. Hunter Hess, who, again, is on the winter skiing team, right? He's a freestyle skier. After he told reporters that he had, quote unquote, mixed emotions about wearing the stars and stripes, aka wearing the U.S. flag. Take a look.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't. If it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S.
Yeah, but you're paid by the taxpayer and American sponsors, right? So just compete and shut your mouth and do that. Then when you're not there, and do your own personal thing. Not when when your old teammates are there, right, alongside you, has to listen to you talk about this shit.
It's just that I don't get that they go to the Olympics to represent America and then they shit on America during her. It's like I really don't think they should be answering serious political questions. Just fucking play your goddamn sport and shut up.
Mm.
And else they should be just kicked off the Olympic team and replaced with someone else.
I remember what's her name, the soccer player did that as well, the one with the pink hair. I can't
Oh
remember
yeah,
her
the
name.
ugly one. She lost a lot of sponsors because she kept running. She was also trying to force her teammates to kneel during the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay. So check this out, dude. So I asked Grok, who funds Team USA? Team USA, oh, all right, it's funded entirely by private sources. So not the US, unlike most countries. So these guys are actually spokespeople for a a private company, right? Private sources. So here we go. So the corporate sponsorships and licensing, largest share, broadcast rights, NBC deals for the games, private donations, which is like US Team USA Fund and the US Olympic Paralympic Foundation, other revenues, merchandise. So that's private funding here, right? So the key facts, they say 2024 to 2026 data, no federal funding. So, which is kind of strange. Like I always thought, like because all our, even though, you get some like modeling and promotion for merchandise in New Zealand, most countries, they have government funding because you're representing our country, right? That's why, I think that's why other countries don't do these things like these guys do, because they're privately funding. I didn't even know they were privately funded, bro. Were you aware of that? I think you're
No,
muted.
I didn't, and because I usually kind of find the Olympics kind of boring, to be honest. It's just not my thing. I do like it when America wins gold or whatever, but I just doesn't interest me.
Yeah, I'm in the same. Like I stopped paying attention to this. Like I stopped paying attention to celebrity awards, like the Oscars and all that when they got political. It was just like, doesn't matter to me. And same thing with sports, right? It doesn't really bother me or interest me anymore. So look at this total revenue for 2024 example, $500 million plus 385 million surplus used for athlete support, right? So you got expenses of that much. Major recent boost, you had like $100 million to that body, which is that one here, USA Fund, Paralympic and Olympic Fund. Most recent boost, right? Then you've got like athletes to create a retirement security program paying athletes $200,000 per game. These people get $200,000 per game, bro. Regardless of winning anything, they just get $200,000 for a retirement fund program, security program. Right? Breakdown of funding: 40 to 50% sponsorship and licensing.
I don't think they should get paid at all if you can get paid some other way. I don't think they should get paid at all. I think they should. I don't know. Maybe some kind of living expense, but I mean, you play a sport like every 4 years.
I don't know, man. Dude, I didn't know it was this sort of a situation with the US Olympics. I mean, with the Team USA, sports people, because the fact that a private company and interests actually pay for it makes it even worse, because then why are you saying you're Team USA? Then just say you're representing yourself, because that's what they seem to be doing here. They're not, they're not representing anybody but themselves here. But they're part of a team, which means they're like, even if this guy doesn't believe this idiot's woke politics and believes about not taking illegals out of the country because because they're illegal, and then also there's criminals, and also there are human traffickers, and all the horrible things that are happening. They'll be finding out that a lot of them, like, man, there's too many people are criminals. The fact that you're a criminal by entering the country illegal straight away, right? But then that's get added on and shit.
Again, I want to say that I don't know enough about the Olympics, so all my are not facts but opinions. And what do I know anyway?
Yeah, I don't even care enough to, but to look into it. But I thought, like, because of these people, like, just I feel like these leftists don't even care about your their own citizens, bro, because they have $200,000 to safeguard themselves, like live in mansions, security, and all that. Because one of the things they said was to secure their future, right, and shit. And so now it just seems crazy that these people would be like, would be doing the things that they're doing. Or saying.
So yeah, I just kind of want to do it for my friends and my family and the people that support me getting here.
I'd love for you to go around and talk to some of the people that are from other countries that are in the Olympics right now. And you tell them that you're embarrassed to be representing the United States of America because they're deporting people that are here illegally. Please record their facial expressions when they look at you in utter disbelief because of how insane that sounds. There's also a good number of countries on that list looking at you and understand how privileged you are, even if you don't see it, because you can speak out against what your government is doing with no repercussions, which is not a right that a lot of these people have. And if you're so ashamed to be representing America right now, then leave. Because I don't think it's too much to ask that the people that are representing this country in the Olympics should actually love the country that they're from. But let me reassure you, Hunter Hess, the feeling is mutual. We're ashamed that you're allowed to wear our flag in the Olympics because you definitely do not represent America.
Mixed emotions as an American to be representing the country on the world stage. Well, if you have mixed emotions, then why the hell are you there? Why are you there if you have mixed emotions? Right? Why put on the uniform? Why perform? Why don't you quit? Quit and stay home. Don't represent this country if you can't do so proudly. Right? Period. I'm sick and tired of these ungrateful ass athletes. I'm sick and tired of them. I'm sick and tired of them on the world stage disrespecting this country because they don't agree with politics. Right? It's disgusting. It really is. You don't see anybody else, nobody else would dare disrespect their country on the world stage over politics. You don't see that from any.
No, you don't. Because our country would trash them. If a Kiwi did that, our people would trash the hell out of them. And ask for their removal.
I don't get why they would go to the Olympics if they're ashamed of their country. Why would somebody go represent America if you're ashamed of America? Yeah, it's not perfect. Maybe you don't like some of the policies, but you should love where you live regardless. If you don't fuck out.
Exactly. Or go where you are going to be happy, right?
Exactly. It makes no sense to live somewhere where you don't love where you live.
It's like if you're renting a place and you don't like it, you move out. Same thing goes with a country, right? Go find yourself a country that will have you. So here's a crazy one, right? More leftist lunacy, right? So this is called this is from Sky News Australia. The hypocritical left stays silent whilst teenagers are butchered in Iranian streets. And that's segueing from that lady saying how other people in their countries can't say, and that these that dude has actually had the privilege to be able to speak out. Well, these guys can't because they're getting butchered, getting public executed daily.
why is the left so silent on what is one of the biggest threats in the world right now, the Islamic Republic of Iran? Now, this is a brutal dictatorship which has adopted a shoot-to-kill policy on its own citizens who are fighting for their freedoms. Security forces have also reportedly entered hospitals to arrest injured protesters, while medical staff have allegedly been warned against treating those hurt. Now, these are all violations of international law. So, why don't the atrocities in Iran fit the left's narrative? Now, this is the same left who demonised Israel after it was attacked by Hamas terrorists. Where are the multi-million-dollar cashed-up celebrities turned social warriors? And where is the mainstream media? Emily Schrader is an American-Israeli journalist. She's fed up with the left's hypocrisy and the jihadist regimes getting a free pass.
As someone who is passionate about both of these peoples and both of these issues, the contrast is very, very, very stark. I mean, first off, we have the Free Palestine movement itself. They had no problem organizing protests every week of the year all over the world, from Europe to Canada to the United States to Australia. We saw this in the streets over and over again. And their excuse was, well, we care about the Palestinian civilians. Now, we knew that that wasn't the case even in the moment, but the reality is that now it's being proven to the whole world, because not one of these organizations that organized all of these protests supposedly for Palestinians has organized anything for the Iranians. In fact, they've actually done the opposite. What we have seen is several events, particularly in the UK, organized by the anti-Israel movement that supports the Islamic Republic of Iran, even after the regime has murdered tens of thousands of people. And I just want to note for perspective that it's the equivalent, at least, just that we know, it's the equivalent of at least filling, the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, 40,000 people, and killing every single person in that stadium. So the scale of this is gigantic. And still, we see hypocrisy from this movement. But it's not just them. As you know, you mentioned the Grammys. This is another great example. Hollywood was all over the war in Gaza with petitions and statements, and yet we see nothing, not a single mention at the Grammys by any celebrity, any of these social justice warriors that were perfectly happy to bash Israel and complain about how evil Israel is and pretend that they're humanitarians in support of the Palestinian people. And yet when it comes to even teenagers being butchered in the streets by the Islamic Republic, complete silence. And then, of course, we have the media. The media has been incredibly hypocritical. The mainstream international media, when it comes to Israel, it's 2 years of nonstop critical reporting, taking the statistics, the casualty statistics of the Gaza war straight from the Gaza Ministry of Health, which, as we've learned, is Hamas itself. So they took these as sacrosanct, as fact. But when it comes to anything that's happening in Iran, they're claiming they don't have sources on the ground, they don't have enough information, despite the fact that the people of Iran are literally crying out in the streets for assistance, for the international community to be their voice. And we've seen nothing from the media on this front, and it's just egregious. And my biggest problem with it isn't just that it's biased against Israel. My biggest problem with this is that it is humanitarian. I would say that this is an issue far bigger than politics of Israel or the Palestinians. It's something much greater than that. This is a humanitarian crisis going on in Iran. And no one seems to be concerned about that, particularly the people who spent 2 years complaining about Israel and how they were concerned about the lives of civilians. Suddenly, when it comes to Iranians, there's no concern.
Yeah, isn't it fast?
Exactly. And, dude, have you... I don't know how to go into this one. This is a tough one. It's another one of those ones that are quite tough. So I'm just going to let it play out. This is a 14-year-old Singaporean student dealt with under Internal Security Act for ISIS radicalization in Singapore.
I just say just go for it, man. Just
Yeah.
talk about it and see what happens.
This is a crazy one, man. Like people think that's like only in certain areas where people are getting radicalized. Here, this is a Singaporean. There's an Asian kid, right? 14-year-old student aspired to fight for ISIS and die a martyr. Let's go back to the start here.
A 14-year-old Singaporean student has been dealt with under the Internal Security Act. He was self-radicalized online by Islamic State extremist ideologies. The Internal Security Department says the youth aspired to travel overseas to fight for ISIS and to die a martyr. Under a restriction order, he's barred from changing residence, traveling overseas, or accessing the internet without ISD's approval. ISD says the youth's radicalization began in early 2023 when he was 12. He came across a video of ISIS fighting American forces in Iraq. The teen viewed ISIS as defenders of civilians. As he searched for more content, social media algorithms fed him more extremist material. He found a pro-ISIS website and spent up to 9 hours a day consuming such content. He became a staunch supporter by late 2023 and pledged allegiance in June 2024. He began posting pro-ISIS material online, including videos created using gameplay from platforms Roblox and Gorebox. The teenager would roleplay as an ISIS fighter and simulate attacks and executions. ISD says he created multiple social media accounts to promote ISIS and to encourage armed violence. While the youth felt he was too young to physically take up arms, he aspired to travel in about 10 years' time to Syria, Afghanistan, Africa, Iraq, or Bali to fight for ISIS and to die a martyr. To prepare, he carried out daily battle simulations at home for up to 2 hours. He used a toy rifle and role-played attacks on forces he viewed as ISIS enemies. ISD says he was aware his activities were unlawful and took steps to conceal them. While some family members and schoolmates tried to dissuade him, none reported him to the authorities. ISD says this is the third 14-year-old to be dealt with under the ISA in the past 2 years. The department highlighted growing concerns about youth radicalization at younger ages. It's urging the public to seek help early if they suspect someone may be radicalized.
Young kids, bro. Young kids getting radicalized online in gaming forums and games. Roblox being one of the major ones. In a couple weeks, we're going to look at Roblox and a cult that is.
Roblox already has a laundry list of problems, from what I hear.
Yeah, bro. They're getting sued major.
The question is, did the kid live in poverty?
Sorry, what was that?
The question is, was the kid living in poverty?
When you can afford to have internet and games.
There are people that live in poverty that have internet access.
I don't think so. A lot of these people actually aren't without. They're quite privileged.
Okay. Well, I just
know
there's a lot of people who are, like, say, in the Philippines that have internet access and they live in like shanty houses.
Sure. And that's true. But this is Singapore, which is one of the richest countries in the world. So I don't think this kid would be coming from a poor home. One thing, I'm looking for this one, that happened in Sweden. I've got a link here somewhere. I just can't find it amongst all the friggin' hundreds of links I've got. Let me just let me play some music while I go find it. Actually, let me play something else just while I look for it. So this one's crazy. We're talking about like Palestine just before, and how pro-Palestinians are basically not saying a thing about Iran. They reckon about 50,000 people have been murdered in the last 2 months, and like I said, public executions as well, daily. So I'll get the link here, and then I'll look for the other one, because that was in Sweden, right? And Sweden, again, a European country that's quite well off. Here we go.
why they're cancelling your visa?
Hold on. Let's go to the start. Sometimes
What have the Home Office said to you about why they're cancelling your visa?
Before I answer your question, actually, Tom, I would like to clarify that is not actually what I said. Have you watched the interview that I did?
I have. Yeah, I played it out.
Can you quote to me what exactly I did say?
We are full of pride. We are really, really full of joy at what has happened. We are proud that Palestinian resistance has come to this point.
Mm-hmm. And do I mention Hamas at any point in that interview?
Well, what are you full of joy at that point?
My question is clear. Do I mention Hamas at any point?
You are asked about Hamas. You don't mention them by name.
Exactly. So I do not mention Hamas. I do not mention that I condone killing of any innocent civilians. My words were completely taken out of context.
Well, let's go back to what your words are.
No logical person can conclude that I was supporting harm to any innocent civilians based on the context that was given throughout this demonstration.
Well, you called it resistance after one of the biggest atrocities the Jews have seen since the Holocaust, where women were raped and children were killed and people were burned. That's why. Dana.
Let me explain it to you, Tom. There was no explicit mention of Hamas or support for Hamas or harm to any innocent civilians. Whether there was any implicit mention is also not the case. So the process was advertised in a manner that showed support for Palestinian resistance breaking through the siege. The process itself was full of chants and speeches that, again, were supporting Palestinians breaking through the siege, with no mention of Hamas, with no symbols referring to Hamas whatsoever. The coverage itself at that point, when I was doing the interview with Sky News, did not show anything related to Hamas.
So when you're there at this rally on the days after, the immediate days after October the 7th, and you say, we are full of pride, what are you full of pride about?
The breaking of the siege on Gaza, which was placed on Gaza illegally for over 16 years.
And how did the breaking of the siege happen?
It was not only by Hamas. It was by multiple armed groups. It was by civilians and children as well who were resisting against the occupation.
PIJ, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, for example, they're another group that operate at Gaza, not them. So when you say
I was not referring to a specific group.
Sorry, Donna, let me ask the question, please. It's my program. We are proud that Palestinian resistance has come to this point. You're not referring to Hamas.
No, I'm not.
But they form Palestinian resistance, don't they?
No. Palestinian resistance in itself is an action, Tom. Right? Resistance.
So what were Hamas doing on October the 7th?
With international law.
So what were Hamas doing on October the 7th, in your view?
It does not concern me what Hamas was doing. I was referring to Palestinian resistance. I was referring to resistance.
It doesn't concern you what Hamas has done on October 7th? That's a bit problematic, don't you think?
That is consistent with international law and the specific act of breaking through the siege, which is consistent with international law.
Well,
I was not referring to any group.
Were people to have just broken through the siege, i.e., gone through the fences, understandable. But they didn't, did they?
What do you mean?
Well, we know what happened on October the 7th. People went through those fences and those walls, and they went on to butcher innocent people.
Oh, Dana or Dana, I don't know how you say her name. What breaking of what siege exactly? Egypt and Gaza have 7 layers of fencing separating the two. Did they break that siege?
Did you hear that, bro? Gaza.
Yeah, I heard that.
Egypt.
I heard
Gaza.
that.
Egypt. Gaza. Egypt.
Yeah, I heard that. She was making all these excuses and she would not straight out answer the question.
That's usually the way they work, right?
He asked you, and he's like, you said you're full of pride. Pride for what? What are you proud in the siege? Horrible things happened. And when Cornette asked about it, she'll act like, you don't get what I'm saying. And it's like, no, I get exactly what you're saying, but you're not answering the question.
Gaza, Egypt. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers of walls or divisions, right, between Egypt and Gaza.
Right.
Egypt, Muslims don't want Palestinian Gazan people out in their country. So they've got razor wire across the fence from them.
Yep. What a better way to say keep out.
Yeah. And Jordan as well. See, they're always going about Israel, but they don't see that even Muslims don't want these people there because they know these people are terrorists. There was a time when they actually let them in and they created terrorism in their country. That's why they've actually made so many layers of fences here. This is what I mean. Like, a lot of people in the West are so dumb about these things, especially leftists who never actually go there or never actually look at other things. Their whole thing, bro, is that they're brainwashed into thinking that only Israel has walls around them. But even Muslim countries has walls around against Gaza, right? Razor wire. Their own Kazi bros don't want them, as we could say in New Zealand, right? Their cousins don't want them to come over the fence, to walk across, to have their prosperity, because these people hate life. This I want to show you this video, right? Where is it? It is where this lady goes. Or have I got it for the next one? Actually, I'll go for the next one. Next episode or two. Because next week we're going to look at some. Well, next time I should say, like this coming Friday, we got something, another topic. So sticking to this little theme, we've been talking about Sharia and Shiite a couple of weeks back, right? A couple episodes back. And we talked about how they've been killing and fighting each other since the very start of their religion being created by Muhammad, right? Who took his basis for his religion from his contemporaries, like Christians, Jews, Zoroastrians, animists, and other religions that were around at the time, Hindus. And he put together his Quran, which is why it doesn't make sense, which is why then he added his own little lustful, own things: lie, cheat, steal, murder. Don't let anybody else have their own freedoms, but unless they're Muslim, let them die or pay taxes, right, to live. So this lady, bro, is forcing this other lady, if I remember if it's the right clip. Yep, it is. Stop playing. Pause. It was like I don't even have autoplay on, and this thing always keeps playing, and it annoys me because it pops up in my ears. So check this video out, right? We talk about Sharia, right? Sharia is like the most vile, violent, anti-human thing, especially anti-woman thing, female thing, right? That's ever in creation. And we played that video a couple of streams back where they basically gave this lady 100 canes, like bamboo canes. She fainted, right? So here is this Sharia person, because forcing this girl, and I keep telling you guys, like, I mean, our viewers, right, stream viewers and posts, that this is an abhorrent religion, and it's not even a religion; it's ideology, an anti-human ideology. We call it a death cult. That's the best way to describe it. Some people call it cancer. Humanity's cancer.
Another Muslim woman to do that and shame her in front of everyone. I think it's totally inappropriate. This is a video of a Muslim woman being attacked by another Muslim woman because she was not covering her head with burqa. This is the kind of activity, by the way, before we watch this short clip, that could potentially make its way to the United States of America. And I can almost tell you, I'm fairly certain, that most Americans are not used to seeing anything like this in the streets of America, because this is not the culture that we have ever been accustomed to witnessing, even as children growing up in the United States.
Yeah, have you ever seen a woman go up to somebody and grab, like, not even her own family member, a stranger? And by the way, guys, This is normal behavior by these people amongst Muslims.
I wanted to say that they have this awful stereotype against their religion, yet they're not doing anything to disprove the myth.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so this is like what happens when you are Muslim in public and a Sharia Muslim lady comes across, and usually it's a stranger even, will beat you up. If they realize that if you're Arab Muslim looking like them, they'll beat you up in the street, and they'll they might even throw, if you're a beautiful lady and they might not like you, they might even throw acid in your face. I've seen I can't remember, did we show that video of that in the earlier stream where that lady had acid thrown in her face, bro? That beautiful because she didn't have her head covered on live stream.
Yeah, I believe she showed that. Yes.
Just saying, the receipts are out there.
You know, obviously in Judaism, we have so many different sects, denominations, sects as in SECTS, sects in denominations in Judaism that, like, for example, I put cheese on my burger and I eat meat that is not kosher. So to certain denominations within Judaism, such as the Orthodox or
Also, by the way, guys, in Hinduism, there's also two different sects in Hinduism. There's ones that eat pork and those that don't. There's ones that eat beef, and the ones that don't. So it's not just Judaism or so on, or Islam, but there is, but that's up to that person, right? No one has a right to tell you, how you should eat and not eat, because the next video I'm going to play is Sneeko, because he got in shit. Black dude tried to grift on the Muslims and found out. Tim?
Yeah, isn't that idiot who keeps saying really stupid things like pointing guns at cameras and such?
Yeah, he's coming up next. But the fact is, like, these people, like, the fact that this lady who's a stranger to this other girl could treat her like that in public. I mean, if I was a parent, I'd be like smacking that lady around. If my wife was there, I'd go, step the hell, I'll get my wife to bash her up, or if I had an older daughter or whatever. And if it's me there, I'd be like, take your hands off my daughter, or I am going to kick your ass right now, as a parent should do when a stranger is trying to abuse their child. Because this behavior the idiot playing the music, like, the one who's like posted this video, is just freaking annoying. But these people, I'm sorry, so how are you guys? I just want to, he's going to say a whole bunch of stuff, so it looks like, but I'm just, I'll leave you guys to watch the rest of it. But that is normal behavior, by the way, for Islam. I just want to tell you guys, like, a lot of people, I got called a right-wing grifter today because I post this sort of stuff and I talk about this sort of stuff. Is because people are so ignorant of this sort of stuff because they've never seen it happen, right? So when you're ignorant of this sort of stuff, you're very biased when someone says, because you have never seen it happen, you never heard it happening, that women get acid thrown in their face for not wearing a hijab properly, or niqab, right? Or covering it the right way, or showing too much of their face or leg. strangers will beat them up in the street, in public. And this is in France. And there's areas in France you can't go to that are totally run by Muslims. England is normal. Like there's freaking Sharia law is trying to establish himself. And people, are speaking up about it, but you can't, because now they've got online, comment laws, whatever it is they call it, where you can't actually post stuff about that sort of stuff because it's anti-Islam, Islamophobia posts. You can't call it out. So let's go see Sneeko. See, I watched him, I think it was last year when he started getting into the whole even then, as soon as I saw him getting all up in there, I was like, dude, this is not what you want, bro. Right? This is not what you want. You don't understand this religion. Right? He was like, having all these like big radicalizing preachers on YouTube, people, right? And I'm like, dude, that's a year back, by the way. Right? Last February, I was thinking, like, when you were starting to get into it, maybe even like Christmas 24, maybe. Let me see. I think my give me one. Right. So for those, I mean, I'm sure anybody who's on the internet has seen clips of this guy or have seen bits of information about this dude. But, it's just like one of those, like, what I would say, like a troll tuber, right? So this dude ordered pork ribs, right? Is that, what do you guys call that? Tim, is that bear babies, whatever, baby backs, whatever?
Baby back ribs?
Yeah. We don't call them that here. We just call them like spare ribs, right? But yeah, so this dude on live stream starts eating, right? And he then apologizes and says, I didn't know. How do you order food and not know? And you eat meat and you don't know. You can't tell the difference between a pork, which is white.
Is he like Muslim or something now or something?
Oh yeah, he went hardcore, bro. Yeah, hold on. Let me see if maybe we can play a little bit of that, right? If I can find the clip. So Sneeko goes Muslim. Goes Muslim. Short clip. Maybe there's a little short clip that'll give us where are we? Let me see. A year ago would be a good one. Yeah, so he was having conversations in 2024, right? Having people on talking about becoming a Muslim and stuff, the real reason the youth is converting to Islam and all this. And he even had Nick Fuentes on here, right? So it's just all this stuff, man. He was just like full on, like there's like hours and hours and hours on it. And he got trolled so hard, but it's just crazy. So let me play this. So this is what happens. So he was totally grifting and going hardcore into that. And then, this happens.
Let me take a bite of a pork. Fake Muslim! Fake Muslim!
Massive day for the unemployed. Sneeko just ended his career and ate pork on stream. The chat is just spamming. Are those beef ribs? That
See, even the chat can tell from the live stream that this is pork, right?
It's pork, man.
Stop.
Is it pork?
Right there, yep. He says he can't hear either.
I just found out I just almost had pork by accident.
So carry on eating it. Oh, but no, that's right. Yeah, you were grifting the Muslims. So because you're gifting the Muslims, you got to say, oh, I didn't know. Dude, man. I
Thought it was beef ribs. It's baby back ribs.
Got him. Quote unquote, accidentally fakest I've ever seen. Bro forgot he is LARPing as a Muslim. LMAO. Orders food. Chooses the pork. Begins eating the pork. Chat says it's pork. Keeps it in his mouth as long as possible. Whoa, was that pork? I'm Muslim. WTF? Who gave me pork? Sneeko accidentally eats pork on stream and sparks a faith debate. During Thursday's stream, 27-year-old kick streamer Sneeko, who converted to Islam in 2023, unknowingly ate pork ribs shared by a guest and reacted with horror after realizing his mistake. Whatever. One time is a coincidence, but many times is a pattern, and Sneeko hasn't been exactly known for following all of the rules. Sneeko accidentally breaks his fast and forgets it's Ramadan.
Astaghfirullah. I forgot.
Albeit a bit of a fallacy, but imagine what he's doing off stream. Bro's getting the Baconator.
Yeah, I just found out I just almost had pork by accident.
Wallahi, I made a mistake. Wallahi, I made a mistake.
I love how they come up with the Muslim sayings.
Well, kind of. I don't know. I mean, he knew that he wasn't supposed to eat pork, yet he ordered something that was pork.
Yeah. This is what happens when you laugh, bro. It's like leftists when they laugh for Palestine, but they don't say a thing about 50,000 kids and people getting murdered and butchered in Iran.
Yeah.
2 months, yeah.
They cherry pick what they want to be outraged by.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really something they believe. It's a trend. They've made being outraged about stuff in the West trendy. They constantly have nothing gets done because they can't constantly shift focus from one thing to another, and then forget about the other thing they're outraged about.
Just moving the goalpost, right?
B and N are right next to each other, bro.
God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers, and for Sneeko, it was just to not eat pork, and even that was too difficult. Anyway, Sneeko replied to this, and he was pissed. People clowned on my diet so much it became Twitter news. It's simple. I just follow Jesus. He didn't eat pork either. First,
I have a big announcement. The Super Bowl champion. I will type it in the comments because my family's still watching.
Yeah, but okay, go on then.
First of all, he's moving the goalpost. Nobody is clowning him for not eating pork. They're actually clowning him from the opposite, ironically. If you're a devout Muslim who stays true to his principles and doesn't eat pork, I feel like less people are going to clown you than if you're...
One of the strangest things he says is like Jesus didn't eat pork. I don't think I've ever read in the Bible.
It's nowhere in the Bible.
Yeah, and it's been
But,
I
don't think it was as important. So he may or may have not eaten pork. We don't know because it's not mentioned.
It's never mentioned. Yeah, it's never like I know. Last time I read the Bible was about 20 years ago or so, right? And so I don't ever remember reading it in there, and I've read it quite a few times, right? And so
I might have to dip out because I'll have to go return home because the game's over.
All right, dude.
I will pop back on as soon as I get home.
All right, dude. Get you soon. Okay. All right. So a bit more Sneeko, and then they mentioned Ramadan in here. All right. So I want to tell you, Ramadan's where they fast. So let me just get the exact grok explanation for it, because sometimes I forget these things. So I need to know, provide the right information, because receipts matter. So Grocky, what's Ramadan? because the dude was supposed to fast and he was like drinking it up, eating and stuff. So Ramadan is the 9th month of Islamic lunar calendar and one of the holiest periods in Islam. It is observed by Muslims worldwide as a month of fasting, prayer, reflection, and community. And I've seen a video of other Muslims getting on a bus and telling people not to eat around them, right? In the West, by the way, in the West, because the smell is making them hungry. This is why Islam is not, competitive with Western things. When you have a Muslim telling you what you can and cannot do in your own country. If you have that sort of feelings about your religion, then stay where, in the country where that has that, the main thing is that religion, right? Middle East is very cool. Go there, you'll be fine. So here's the things that they say you can't do. All right, it's a 29 to 30 days, depending on what, crescent moon. From dawn until sunset, adult males who are physically able refrain from eating and drinking, smoking, sexual relationships, and negative behavior, gossip, anger, lying. But the problem here is that we know Muslims are allowed to lie under Islam, and the Quran says you're allowed to lie. Like, have you ever, if you read the Bible, it says, do not lie, right? That's one of the commandments. Do not bear false witness. But they lie. It's in the Quran to lie. And that's a problem. Like, a lot of Westerners don't know that. They convert to Islam and they don't know that. Like, one of the rules is you are allowed to lie. Imagine sitting next to someone and that person is basically lying to you and their religion says it's okay, and your belief, you're just a normal person, believe that that's evil, that's sinful, right? That's wrong. Even if you're not religious, we know it's wrong to lie, right? And the purpose of this is to get spiritual discipline and self-control, right? Empathy for those who are hungry or poor. Remember, like I said, that lady got on the bus and told the dude who was eating his food to not eat because she was going to get hungry. See, that's not empathy. The dude's hungry, he's having his lunch, and she gets on the bus and tells him he can't eat because she's fasting, right? They do it to get closer to Allah, right? The devil, right? Because Allah is the devil. Because, like, dude, you can't be killing people. If your God's telling you to go out and kill people, rape, takes hostages, slaves, right, and such, and think it's it's a righteous God, right? It's just crazy. And that's why I put the reason I bring this up is because a lot of people don't friggin' know that, right? A lot of people in the West are very ignorant of these religions that are not Christian. They think they know Christianity, but they've never read a Bible either. But they jump on to Islam because it's exotic. It's exotic. See, white people have this thing, especially white leftist people, right? Have this thing, especially women. Women are very easy to get into religion, by the way. That's why a lot of cults basically are led by men with lots of women in them. Because they're led by majority, because they have a large amount of emotion, right? And so they get their emotions drive them towards strong, independent, leadership. However, they like the bad boys, right? That's the thing. That's like, if you're a nice guy, women don't like you, girls don't like you, right? They just want you to hang around, but they'll be out there sleeping, right, with the bad boys. And Sneeko is kind of like that whole, that's why a lot of people, follow this dude, because he's like that bad boy, but really he's just another, hypocrite on the internet.
You're, looking like a LARPer.
Let me take a bite of a pork. Fake Muslim, fake Muslim. Do you see the difference? Like, bro, I can't even, bro, it's so obviously a mistake. Everyone knows, right?
Yeah, literally mistake. You got the pork instead.
Jesus didn't eat pork. How many times do I have to say?
Stop lying, Sneeko. You've never read the Bible. You're just making shit up. I've never ever in the years, decades that I read the Bible, ever read Jesus talk about pork or beef. He gave examples about sheep and goats. Goats being the bad, sheep's being the good, right? But I don't ever remember Jesus ever mentioning pork. And the fact that, hold on, he did mention pigs. He put demons into the pigs, right? That's the only time I remember it was like because there was a whole bunch of, I think there was like demons in this group of people or whatever. I actually know one person, and there was a whole bunch of legion. I think that was like, we are called legion, and they just said, "Oh, don't cast us into hell," right? That's what the demon was talking to. It's like, please don't cast us into hell. And he goes, chuck us into those pigs, and they went over the hill, over the cliff and into the water, right? So did Jesus ever mention? I'm telling you, man, I have read the Bible, even though it's been 20 years since I have. I don't ever remember him ever mention pork or eating it or not eating it. However, in in Judaism, they do say that, because back in those days, as you know, if you don't cook pork properly, and I'm a trained chef, you can have diseases from it, right? Plus, they roll in mud, dirt, and stuff, so it makes them like. That's why they call it an unclean animal. However, right, you can raise clean pigs, right, that aren't rolling in freaking dirt and all that mud and stuff. You can raise them really well. I'm going to get you this mention eating pork, right? Because I hate people when they lie about scripture, right? Because they don't know it and they say they make shit up, especially when you got millions of viewers like this moron. Because the thing is, a lot of kids listen to that, right? Here's what he might be alluding to, but I don't even think he knows what he's alluding to. And here's the reason is that a lot of Muslims they just say whatever they want to say about Christianity, and especially the Bible and Jesus, because they just make it up on the spot, right? And they just continue that whole thing along. Like I mentioned a couple streams back, where when I was in my 20s, mid 20s, I think it was, or late 20s, I was at home and a couple of Muslims were visiting. My parents went home, but I gave them tea and so on. And so I said, we started talking, and I brought up the fact that, about, we started talking about Islam. And I said, well, Eve gave this dude, Adam fruit. And they said, oh, that's right. Yeah, it was the apple. That's how they got the Adam's apple. And I'm like, what? Yeah, that's how they got. I said, where does that say? Right. So they like to practicalize, theorize things into scripture like that. Like, you got your Adam's apple because fruit got stuck in there. Crazy stuff like that. So this is, let me just bring this a bit higher so you guys can see. So, right. Jesus never directly addresses pork, selfish, or any Old Testament dietary rules. Kuzrat, right? Laws, I should say, not rules. Rules. In the 4 Gospels, like I said, that's where Jesus is mentioned, right? That's about his life. But when Sneeko goes, oh, Jesus never ate pork, or didn't, whatever he said, I can't remember now. We'll go back and replay it. But here, so he's talking about, this is the most relevant, right? Are you dull, he said. Don't you see that nothing that enters a person from the outside can defile them? For it doesn't go into their heart, but into their stomach, and then out of the body. But Muslims go, well, you can't eat pork, right? But they don't tell you the reason in the old days they didn't eat pork is because you could get sick, because people didn't know about cooking pork right or wrong. Hello. No, actually, it was somebody else, man, child. But I would really appreciate it if you look after, watch for my back. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the protective service. Man-child protective service states, are you being bullied because you were mistakenly identified as Australian Limu Grey? MPS can help. I would appreciate that. The fact is that you have it down as MPS, and the show is called MPST, which is monkey politics and shitposting is the name of the show, but we abbreviated to MPST. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you hanging out. Now, yeah. Right. So this is widely understood by most Christian scholars as Jesus effectively declaring all foods clean. Right. Abolishing the Old Testament food laws, including the ban on pork in Leviticus 11:7 and Deuteronomy. But if you want to eat pork, eat pork. If you don't, don't. It's like vegetarians, right? They go out of their way to make you, force you to become like them, right? This is why I'm not a vegetarian, because I love meat, right? I love beef. I love chicken. I love lamb. We are a farming nation in New Zealand, right? My dad has been, he's retired now. He's in his 80s plus, but his whole life he's been like a MEF officer, was Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. He's a guy that checks to make sure that a bull or sheep or so on that goes to the goes to the meat place, whatever, butchering place, factory, is healthy for people to eat, right? Like foot and mouth disease and stuff like that. So, I could never not eat meat because we always had meat in our house, and I feel poor, right, if I don't have meat in my house, like in the fridge. I can go a day or two with vegetables and stuff, but I have to have carbs, protein, I should say, right? But here, this moron who doesn't know anything about Christianity, probably just what Muslims taught him, because he's probably never read a Bible, never picked it up, but he just mouths that Jesus does that, and a lot of people in the left do that quite a lot, and Muslims like to twist the Bible to say its own thing.
Can't even, bro. It's so obviously a mistake. Everyone knows, right?
Yeah, literally mistake. You got the pork instead.
Jesus didn't eat pork. How many times do I have to say that? Do they know anything? Do they know anything about the religion? Jesus didn't eat pork.
You don't know nothing about Christianity. It's been 20 years, and I still remember there was no mention of Jesus talking about meat. I mean, with pork, sorry. Apart from the demons, right? And that's where he goes. It's where was it? Like, hold on. So Samai's the Bible, the Jesus and Legion story, right? Jesus and Legion demon story, right? Demon story, whatever it was. Samai said it was the right word, right? Summarize, same word. Yeah. So what do you say? Yeah, there was a man. Come on. Yeah, there was a dude living amongst, there was a dude living amongst the tombs. He was possessed, right, of demons. So the demons go to him. What do you? And here's why this is what Muslims don't want to talk about. That here, directly, the demons say to him, what have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me. Right? This dude's crying out to Jesus, saying, hey, yo, the demon begs him not to send him out of the region and asks to be sent into a large herd of pigs, about 2,000, that was feeding nearby. The demons enter the pigs, the entire herd, rushes down the steep bank into the lake and drowns. That's what I was meant about. That's the only thing I know about when Jesus mentioned about the pigs, right? But here, Sneeko, Sneeko's got like Jesus didn't eat pigs, right? Pork. This is the problem with these like big name people, because people don't are like, you know, streamers, is that a lot of them are very ignorant about what they talk about. And so when they talk, people think because they have such large followers, the numbers, that means that they must know what they're talking about. This clown, right, who became a Muslim 3 years ago, is now eating pork and then apologizing because all his Muslim people are on his, you know, are basically on his case now, I should say. Like he could, because religion has a thing about influence, right? The bigger the influence you have, they are very excited about having you part of them. And because that means that they get a bigger reach for their belief system. That's why they got Sneeko to become a Muslim, right? So that his whatever million. Actually, let me make sure I got the numbers there. How many subscribers or followers does Sneeko have? What is that? Does streamer, I should say, right? The thing is, it's like when people say like the more popular you are, it means the more rich you are. Popularity doesn't bring fame. Like fame doesn't bring riches, right? The only thing that brings riches is if you're working and if you got a bank account, right? So here's the numbers with this guy who's clowning, doesn't know anything about Jesus or anything about the Bible, anything about religion, apart from what the Muslims teach him about Christianity. See, if you want to know about Christianity or religion, read the freaking Bible, right? Read the New Testament. And if you want to know about the laws and rules, read the Old Testament, right? Torah. If you want to know about what rules you should live by, read the 10 Commandments, right? And by the way, I'm a heathen, right? I don't follow any religions, but I do know religions, right? I had done enough over the years researching cults and shit, you know, and so on, reading into them. And I don't mean researching like going out of my way to go in like, where's my little, you know, magnifying glass and all that. Usually you can tell someone if they're not right when they talk about religion because their life isn't lining up. That's why I just call myself a heathen, because my life doesn't line up with any religion. So here we go. So Sneeko, his numbers, right? This is why I worry about youth, because they don't understand when someone's lying and somebody's so friggin' ignorant. I keep opening the same one, excuse me. So, and they have a lot of influence, right? And there's kids that have grown up watching him from when they're young, right? Since they've been on internet. So because of YouTube channels and 1.3 million followers, right? Just in February alone, he's got as many as like Social Blade says 1.3 million followers. With slow growth posts, he's got about 101 million total views. It's 101 million views alone. That's a lot of influence for young people, right? He's got Rumble, 82,000 followers on Kick, 423,000 on Rumble, 1.015 on X, right? And TikTok doesn't really say, but it's hundreds of thousands, right? So that's a lot of influence for an ignorant person to be talking about Jesus and lying about it. And then a lot of young people who don't know anything about it, anything, or religion, or Christianity, or Jesus and what he said. That's what I always say, right? The only rule Jesus said was, love thy neighbor as thyself, right? The golden rule, right? If you can follow that in your life, you'll be a good person, right? What was it? The golden rule. What was Jesus' golden rule? I just want to get it correct.
If you're going to call me cringe for not eating pork, you're calling God cringe. You worship somebody who didn't eat pork, so why would you eat it? This is.
But you're the Muslim. Why are you bringing Jesus into it? This is what they do, bro. Muslims do this all the time. That's called gaslighting. I mean, like, everybody knows what gaslighting is, right? You did this. You did that. I'm not at fault here. Bruh, your own Muslim fans are calling you out. He goes, yeah. Sneeko, I don't know what, I haven't read this, so let me see what he says. Sneeko, be like I'm a good Muslim because I don't eat pork. Meanwhile, goes to clubs, swears, smokes. Right? His own people calling him out. His own followers calling him out. So I guess in a way, not everybody, is duped by this clown. But like I say, he's got 100 million views of his ignorant, opinions about things. So here it is, right? The most famous. Like I said, this is a rule that I try to live by. Doesn't mean I always follow it. It doesn't mean I'm always great at it, but that's what I try to live by. So in everything, Jesus says, do to others what you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. Class as the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. Right? You can live by that. That's the entire God's law, right? If you don't want people to lie to you, don't lie to people. Right? If you don't want people to steal from you, don't steal from people. And so forth. Right? But Sneeko here, it's like, he knows what God is all about because he's become a Muslim. Well, Allah, he's probably talking about from what he knows about Allah, nothing to do with Jesus. But he talks about like he knows about Jesus, right? Your Jesus didn't eat pork. It's like, but you're not following Jesus, bro. You're LARPing and following Allah, right? Their demon god. Islam's demon god.
This is the stupidest rhetoric I'm seeing from literally all of Twitter.
Dude, again, nobody gives a single you don't eat pork, man. And deflecting onto Jesus as a gotcha is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
So many of these, why don't you just eat the pork? God.
Why would someone eat an animal that rolls around in its own feces? Yeah, because that's what in the old days, you could have them like that. They carry diseases. That's what unclean. So now, we got right. It's fucking pork, right? People are laughing because they see how hypocritical this all is.
Most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
So many of these,
right? Because he was Jewish, right? But there's no mention of Jesus ever talking about pork or eating pork, right? But no, Sneeko, he's got to make it about Jesus because Allah is being, people are calling him out for being a bad Muslim. Rage baited. Imagine being an Asian Muslim. Why would someone eat oh, yeah, we read that one.
Why don't you just eat the pork?
It's fucking pork. Why would someone? Oh yeah, we read that one.
God, in your view, did
Sneeko, you can't call out somebody else's religion if you don't believe in that religion, as that religion's God being Jesus. If you're a Muslim, you can't say that Jesus is God, bro. That's blasphemy to Muslims. That's why they always say he's a man. He's a man. But like I said before, the demons said to him, "You're the. What do you want with me? You son of God, right? What do you want from me? Leave me alone, right?" Here you go. Here's a scripture, by the way. Here's what I find funny about these ignorant fools, right? They don't go out. If you want to talk about shit, go fucking know what that shit is about before you start talking about it, right? Sorry for swearing. I try to keep it to a minimum. But yeah, it just annoys me when people do this. So, what have you to do with me, Jesus? There's a demon talking, right? It goes, Son of the Most High God, I beg you, do not torment me, right? But Sneeko thinks he knows. Maybe he does know God. His idea of God is the Muslim God. So, Sneeko the goat.
didn't eat pork.
Wait. This person is just like keeps like what is that like? What is it called? I can't remember now. It's called like copy pasting, spamming. That's the word, right? So this is what I'm saying. Why do I keep seeing this? Did I forget to read it? Yeah. So this guy keeps spamming.
Why don't you just eat the pork? God.
Yeah, see, he is like again and again. That's annoying, man. I hate when people do
In
that.
your view, didn't eat.
However, I sometimes emojis, spam emojis, especially when I'm eating. Like when when I don't have like both my hands free, so I'm like in there going just emoji the whole thing. Porks kill many, white fucks kills many. What? Oh, man. Health issues. Yeah, if you don't cook it properly and they're not race healthy. Yeah. Yeah, and so here you got like some Muslim going, Jesus isn't God, retard. It's like, well, that's your. I mean, even like Muslims, they don't call Jesus God, but they say he's a prophet, right? Because Muhammad actually talks about him because he stole from Christians, right? To write up his book, and from Jews, right? From the Torah, because he wanted to, he started up his own cult, his own sect, right? Religion. Because he got pissed off that they didn't accept him, so he made up took all their bits and pieces, made his own little thing up. Talk about ego, man. Plus, by the way, he was schizophrenic, mentally ill.
Eat pork, but you eat it.
Wait, what was that? His chat like on Kick is so crazy, right? Yeah, we don't care about Islam. Shut up. Goyim attack. It's fucking pork. Oh man. There's dude just raging out. I saw someone rage out today like this about comics, especially about variant covers for comics. It was crazy. They're blindly following without knowledge. Yeah, like this dude. This guy doesn't even know anything about Christianity, yet he's talking about Jesus and pork, eating pork.
Respectfully, shut your.
This is a good troll. Jesus invented the pork, bacon, egg McMuffin. Probably did. I mean, like, it's food, right? Like Jesus said, nothing that goes into your mouth and and into your stomach is unclean. You just got to prepare it right. I mean, Jesus didn't even eat what's that like fish, that puffer fish the Japanese have? Like if you accidentally don't get it, cut it right, you could die from the poison. Jesus didn't eat that, so why don't you say that?
Stupid.
And again, this moron keeps spamming. Yeah, exactly, Eldridge. How about you shut up about Jesus? Because the Muslims don't want you talking about Jesus. They want you talking about Allah. And like crab leg here says, pork is lit.
Mouth and focus your rhetoric.
I always buy bacon pieces. So, every now and then I like to eat, add it to like stew and stuff. And the flavor of it when you like fry it a bit and then add it, it adds such good flavor to stews, right? Like to soups and stuff. And the other thing is that I like having little bits, cutting up to little small bits and then putting on top of my pizza, because I make homemade pizzas. I don't usually eat pizzas, bought pizzas, because I like making my own gourmet. And if you're on my plunge, on the stream, right, on the Plunge Comics page, then you'll see that like I actually sometimes put up posts of my garden and stuff, my balcony garden, and also things I cook. Last time I got my pizza with avocados, like small pieces of avocados on top. It actually was quite good. So yeah, might try it again. But you can't have big chunks of it because it is, soft, so it feels a bit weird, when you bite into it. So plus, and so kind of hot avocados aren't that great in taste, so you got to have it small pieces. It is about like maybe a centimeter or half a centimeter cubed, just little bits.
On something else because you don't know what you're talking about at all.
His mask.
Neither do you, and you keep mentioning Jesus and pork.
of ego isn't allowing him to just say, oops, my bad, I didn't know it was pork, and literally nobody would care. But he seems so pressed about this that he's making it personal. Same who left Christianity because he was too dumb to understand the Trinity. Subscribe if you think I said the word. I straight up did. Saying?
Eating pork on Minecraft. Hold on.
Really?
You're done, buddy.
Board is all maxing, but it's just like the.
This is what happens when you don't understand what you join. Right? This is like there's like 80%, maybe 90% of Western leftists, white people who join Islam have no idea about what Islam's about.
Craft. Hold on.
Really?
You're done, buddy.
Board is all maxing, but it's just like the dumbest shit. Got him. Like, why are they bragging about this? John Pork is calling. Just let it go. It's over. Accidentally, fakest I've seen. 1.8K likes. Oh, he really does eat pork off stream. Secretly off stream, he's eating pork. Do people finally realize he's only Muslim for clicks? Not actually because.
Yes, I knew that straight away 2 years ago. That he was doing it for clicks. It was grifting Muslims for clicks. Because there's a lot of money in Muslims. Really, there is. There's a lot of money if you become a Muslim and have a lot of influence. Their other Muslims will give you money. You'll get more influence. They'll bring you onto your channel, onto their million people channels, right? And so they can radicalize more people in the West that he's being used to do, right? This guy is basically used to radicalize people into Islam. But he's too much of a dumb idiot to understand that.
He believes it.
For a Muslim, he sure turns to Jesus a lot. My Muslim viewers, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Jesus pretty integral in Islam? I don't know about integral, but he was still a prophet, no? He's right, that the Bible literally prohibits the eating of pork, but we did watch him eat pork while pretending that what he was eating was not pork. It's like the grifting Olympics. You know he ate it after the stream.
Not true.
Two big downs. He's a liar and a grifter.
That's just not true.
Yes, it is.
I'm not a grift. Okay, why do they only criticize Muslims for not being perfect, but Christians and Jews and Hindus and everybody else, they can sin?
Why does he always deflect onto other religions, though? Who cares what they're doing? You being a good Muslim doesn't depend on somebody being a good Christian.
Are you gonna call?
Exactly. Right? Right? That's why I like being a heathen, right? I can look at these false so-called prophets of streaming world, right? Influence. Lying through the teeth about things they don't understand. To influence young kids into becoming Muslims. Right? When young kids don't even understand. But now they're going for like primary school kids. Right? It's okay. I guess maybe someone out there will start, parents will start listening and reading the Quran for themselves to see what's in it in English, not in Arab, right? But actually in English. One more last one to go, and this is it for us for today. We're going for, I'd like to keep it under 2 hours. Last time was a 5-hour stream. That was crazy. But let's finish up with this and then we'll go on to. Oh, yeah, here's what sorry, this is the one I was going to play and I forgot. So we'll do this, then we go into the one that's very serious. This is serious as well, by the way, but the next one's way, way serious. Because actually, both of them are equally serious. One's life,
15-year-old Swedish girls are being recruited by migrant gangs who are grooming them as their boyfriends to build explosives, carry out bomb attacks on rival gang members, and launder cash. The country has become the bomb capital of Europe. In 2022, Stockholm's gun deaths were 30 times London's. Girls are being offered £13,000 to carry out assassinations. Boys are doing them for as low as £5,000. The gangs are trafficking the children across Europe as a continental network of child contract killers takes form. Arrests have taken place as far as Spain, where young Swedes and Danes have kidnapped people for ransom. One of Sweden's largest gangs, Foxtrot, has pioneered the grooming of green girls, a term they use to describe the blonde Swedish teenagers they recruit, hoping their traditional Swedish backgrounds will help them evade detection. British authorities say the gang has carried out contract killings for the Iranian regime, one of which was an attack on the Israeli embassy in Stockholm. Just this weekend, a teenager was arrested on suspicion of trying to blow up a high school. In January last year, there were more than 30 bombings in Stockholm alone. That's more than one a day. To discuss how Sweden's got here and how its people are finally waking up to the dangers of mass migration, to the great chagrin of its elites, editor of Swedish media channel Riks Jacob Hagnall joins me now. So, Jacob, thank you so much for joining me. We've seen a massive uptick in the crime rate in Sweden, the murder rate in a country that was always known as, you know, the model of peace and harmony and all things good. What is happening in Sweden?
Well, there's a lot of things that has been happening in Sweden, and we're far away from the golden times of ABBA and IKEA, which we were widely known for. Sadly, now it's gang violence, shootings, bombings. Sweden is a result of multiculturalism going out of control. We have had an enormous influx of immigrants for the last 2 decades. It's just the new government, the conservative government we received 3 years ago, that started to do something about this. But it's enormous problems, and now you have to look closer to Neapels to see criminality and gang interference in the entire society. The situation in Sweden is really bad. The politicians are desperately trying to solve this, but to no real avail. And it's gone as far now that 13-year-olds will be able to get a criminal sentence in prison because the violent gangs are using 13-year-olds to commit assassinations, bombings, and such things. So it's quite an interesting time to be alive in Sweden, to say for sure.
What can you say about that? They're grooming kids to kill people. Just played that video earlier about a 14-year-old in Singapore. All right. So yeah, online, join gangs, right? Get migrants, right? Grooming girls. Get the migrant boys to go get the white girls with blonde hair to go out and kill, blow people up. Political assassinations and shit. But it's only kids. One thing that I said, like I said, it was going to be serious, right? Just as the other thing. Where are you? It's like, it's worse than she said it was. It's worse than I thought is the name of the video, and it's put up by a Pakistani Muslim lady. Oh gosh, where are you? Give me one sec, guys. Let me put on some music while I do this. Excuse me. Hopefully, we'll see if I can get the music up. Just give me a moment.
Long live the king in prosperity.
He looks great, our king! Perfect king.
All right, I got it. And here is the video. And for those of you guys who have never heard of the London grooming gangs, this is Lubna, Candid with Lambda. That's her channel. I recommend watching some of her videos about how she, as a Muslim woman, is treated by Muslims from her own community, because she speaks about she speaks about things in a community that she's seen, that she knows as researchers, right? So I'm going to play this. I was going to play it. I thought I'll play it all the way through, but like, I guess we got to clip it, stop it, whatever, how it is. Pause it. That's the word I was looking for. But let me tell you a bit about what she's going to talk about, because I need to. It's been a while since I was back home in Fiji, where there was a lot of Muslims, right, and where money from the Middle East was sent to Fiji to turn a lot of Fiji Indians into Muslims. Money made rice Muslims who don't even know what Islam is all about. They just hooked onto it like, it's a religion of peace, like everybody else thinks, right? But this is what Eid is, because she's going to talk about Eid. Eid, Arabic, meaning festival or celebration, refers to two major Islamic holidays celebrated by Muslims worldwide. Marks the end of Ramadan, right? We talked about Ramadan just here with us, Nico, earlier. Celebrated on the first day of Shawwal, 10th month of the Islamic lunar calendar. So this is when in 2025, it was in March 30th and April 1st, right? It's kind of like a 2-day thing, depending on moon sightings. So they got a special morning prayer. People wear new or best clothes. Families gather, share sweets, specialty dates, or baklava. Give gifts, give charity, got to be seen as doing good, right? Because, like, religious people like to show that they're doing good, right? Whereas, Jesus said, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing, like when it comes to donations. Just give. Don't let anybody know about it. Don't have to go out and announce about that. Hey, I gave this much. Anyway, so it commemorates Prophet Ibrahim's, one of the prophets, right, who came later after Mahomet. Willingness to sacrifice his son as an act. Oh, sorry, my bad. I got it. Prophet to the Muslims, Abraham, right, from the Bible, is a prophet, right? So the thing here is that Prophet Abraham, and then to the Muslims, Ibrahim in Arabic, his willingness to sacrifice his son to God is an obedience, right? He takes a son, because God's testing him in the Old Testament, right? He goes, hey, bring your son up here, and then God says, thank you for your royalty. Don't need to kill your son. Go kill the goat. Blah blah blah. All right, so that's Eid, all right? So she's going to tell you about what these people did during Eid to girls.
Things are way worse than I could have ever imagined, with Rupert Lowe's independent grooming gang inquiry showing that apparently there used to be Eid gang rape gang parties. I mean, this is the most disgusting and vile thing I have ever heard of.
The fact that specifically around Eid as well, I'll come to you first on this, that there's testimony that basically some Pakistani men in Britain celebrated Eid by inviting their dads, cousins, brothers, etc. around so that they could abuse young working class white girls.
Yeah, I mean, years ago, I did an interview with a woman who was a grooming gang survivor. She remained anonymous, but she spoke about the religious motivations behind what her attackers were doing to her, the sorts of names that they would call her. I kind of really want to say repeat them on television. But the motivation was clearly religious and clearly racist against her because she was a young white woman. And the evidence seems to be overwhelming when you hear these stories that there is a religious motivation there.
And my concern now is that, of course, we have Eid coming up, we've got Ramadan coming up, and after that,
Let me summarize what she said. Because of Islam, after Ramadan, where they like fasted, right, for about a month, they didn't have sex because that's one of the things in Ramadan, right? Let me show you. I did read it earlier, but since we got some more people joining us now, let me just show you what Ramadan it says. You got to be, you got to refrain from sex in those 30 days, right? There. Refrain from sex, smoking, drinking, and negative behavior, right? Adult males. Get it? Adult males who are physically able refrain from eating, drinking, smoking, sexual relationships. And like Lubna just said, she's worried because that's happened before. She's worried that now, next month, Ramadan, Eid is back. E-I-D. Right here. E-I-D. Right? Let me just scoot back a bit.
Overwhelming when you hear these stories that there is a religious motivation there.
And my concern now is that, of course...
So, before I go forward, play the video. What she's saying is that all these men who haven't had sex because of religion, because of Islam, for 30 days are now going to celebrate it. And during the rape gang and grooming gang of hundreds of girls, right, by Middle Eastern and East Indian Muslims, specifically Muslims, gangs of them, for a decade we're grooming these kids, these girls, schoolgirls, minors, right? For a decade, who were left unchecked because of Islamophobia accusations, because of racism, because they were brown. I started talking about this in 2019, by the way, when I found out. I was like, holy shit. Because they were Indians, but they were Muslim Indians, right? Amongst them, East Indian. And as an Indian, found it abhorrent and disgusting. So straight away, I started calling it out. But someone thought today I was grifting for, as a, what is called a right-wing grifter against Islam. Dude, I've been doing it for about 7 years now. If you just found out, well, that's your problem. And by the way, I don't get money for saying this shit, because why would I want money for saying the truth? Like I said, don't let Jesus said, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. But hey, if you want to donate, but don't just give me free money. Give me money for the work I do, right? Because when you do nothing and, BS and get money for it, that's grifting. Or you're changing your religion to a Muslim so you can get more followers for your, for your kick streams or your YouTube streams. That's grifting. But these guys, after 30 days of no sex, would basically celebrate it by raping. Well, she's about to tell you.
We have Eid coming up, we've got Ramadan coming up, and after that, of course, Muslims celebrate Eid. And sadly, because this whole grooming gang scandal is still ongoing, with children who have not received justice, and with grooming gangs very much still going on in the UK, this is very, very concerning and disturbing to hear. These disgusting monsters read out scripture while doing their disgusting deeds.
For decades, children across the United Kingdom, from as young as 4 years old, were groomed.
From as young as 4 years old. I told you Islam is a pedo religion. Right? That's why always when I post, I say it's a pedo religion. When I comment on social media, I say it's a pedo religion. When I talk on here, I say it's a pedo religion. 4-year-old kids. Their prophet married a girl went to the girl's family and said, because he was the prophet, right? He was like this leader, right? Basically went to this family, one of his men, and said, I want your daughter as my wife. And the 6-year-old had to go with him because otherwise I'd kill the entire family. Right? So the girl went along. He waited 3 years and then he had sex with her when she was 9. The religion is based around a pedo. So, yeah.
Trafficked, raped, beaten, tortured,
Let's go back a
drugged,
bit.
trafficked, raped, beaten, 4 years old, were groomed, trafficked, raped, beaten, 4 years old, were groomed, trafficked, raped, beaten, as 4 years old, were groomed, trafficked, raped, beaten, tortured. For decades, children across the United Kingdom, from as young as 4 years old, were groomed, trafficked, raped, beaten, tortured, drugged, impregnated, criminalised, murdered, and psychologically destroyed by organised groups of men and women. These were not relationships, bad choices, or lovesick teenagers, nor were they prostitutes or little white slags. These were sustained campaigns of exploitation against children who were terrified, vulnerable, and systematically trapped. Children were degraded. They were humiliated. They were controlled through violence, threats, drugs, alcohol, and terror. Children forced to carry weapons, sell drugs, and commit murder. They were forced to dig their own graves, petrol poured over them and set on fire, scriptures from the Quran read out whilst they were being gang raped.
Did you read that? Did you hear that? They had petrol poured over them and set on fire, forced to dig their own grave. These are children. They're talking about children. They're not talking about adults here. They're talking about adults, Muslims, who did this to children, white children, in England for decades. Still ongoing, by the way, right? Because the UK government, led by a commie socialist who loves his Muslims, is basically letting it continue. While these people are trying to bring a national inquiry into it and go to task and put these criminals in jail, right? Find out every single one of them. But these Muslims have been doing this in England, doing this in Europe right now. And God knows where else. Because they're grooming them online, grooming in Roblox, grooming them in groups, Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Lonely kids, probably having a hard time, or maybe not, but these are just kids, right?
Pictures from the Quran read out whilst they were being gang raped.
And they're reading scriptures from the Quran, from their holy book, while they're gang raping them. Did I not tell you this is a pedo religion? I've been saying this since 7 years, for those who don't know. Maybe you're new to me, but And if you are new to me, please subscribe, share, like, whatever.
Young children placed inside microwaves, ovens, and free.
This is how they terrorize and harm, and this is an invasion by a Muslim religion, just like the Ottomans in the 1600s, 1700s. I think it was like around 1600s. Can't remember. We did the whole thing with the Ottomans a couple streams back.
Freezers in an attempt to murder them. Ouija boards used to freezers in.
Let's go back a bit.
Scriptures from the caves. Petrol poured over them and set on fire. Scriptures from the Quran read out whilst they were being gang raped. Young children placed inside microwaves, ovens, and freezers in an attempt to murder them. Ouija boards used to call on spirits and demons. Animals killed and used in sexual acts against children, and children forced to abuse and rape other children. Many were passed from rapist to rapist like a piece of meat. Some did not survive their exploitation, suicide, substance abuse, and murder. This was never just about sexual gratification or money. It was about power, about domination, about breaking a child's sense of self until they believed escape was impossible and help would never come.
I mean, this is so demonic, so satanic.
See, the weird thing is that she still is a Muslim. See, if I was a Christian, right, if I saw something that was this abhorrent in my religion, I would leave. But
and what is so disappointing for me, being someone who's been raised as a Muslim, and like I've said a million times, I was born in Britain, but my parents were born in Pakistan. It's so disappointing for me to see the lack of condemnation from the Muslim Pakistani community. In fact, when there is anyone who tries to condemn these monsters, it is actually the Muslim Pakistani community who shows that they feel offended. So they're not offended by the acts of these groomers. They feel offended by anyone pointing out the acts of these groomers.
That's all I can stomach. But the live streams all there. I mean, sorry, the link is in the stream in the chat. Muslims. Oh, but talking about it, you're the shameless, hate-filled propagandists, and I don't disagree. Well, why don't you guys call it out? You're the Muslims, right? Dili Hussein. Why don't you call out the, because like, remember when there's like things came out about the Catholic Church and shit? Everybody came out as a Christian and said, "This, we condemn this. We want an investigation into this. We want everything to be brought to light. We want people to be punished." Muslims, you can't talk about it. It's Islamophobia. You're a racist. You want to stoke a race war, a religious war. You guys are already doing that with our children. You are already stoking a race war, a religious war on our children. See, I was just sort of that thing, right? Like Jesus said, right? The reason I say our children is like humanity's children, right? Because a child is a child. Like everybody should defend a child. So and protect a child, right? So for these guys who don't want to protect children because they're not their children, you see, they don't. If it was a Muslim child, then they would really be really up in arms. If it was a white dude doing that to their children, a white gang of hundreds of Muslims let me just rephrase that. If there was a white gang of hundreds of white people, men, doing this to their children and reading Christian scriptures over them, right, from the Bible, they would be up in arms. They'll be burning shit down. But because they're like white children, not even religious, they're just children. In UK, by the way, they want to use words like Islamophobia, race, right? They want to say that you have blood on you. Motherfucker, you have blood on your hands, blood of the children, for you defending them, not coming out and protecting those kids, right? And so, this whole thing about these people, like there's a stream I'm supposed to do in a reaction thing, right? And so, because what's the name? Sorry, let me step back here. Lubna, right, did a live stream she did that I wanted to react to. I've just been putting it off because that sort of shit makes me angry, right? Because there was people defending it, and this is what she's talking about. That they were defending and not saying, and like saying we shouldn't talk about it. It's our religion. We should protect our religion. Sorry, not gonna swear again. But they were all attacking Christianity when when exposition about what was happening with the children and Catholic orphanages and the horrible things that did in the past, right? And they were all up in arms about it. But these same people now, oh, you can't talk about these Muslims killing your kids, killing white kids, raping them as young as 4 years old, bro. Bruv. Go the fuck back to your own country and do it to your own kids. Actually, don't do it to your own kids because that's just gross. But just get the hell out of the UK. Get the hell out of the West. Go back into your abhorrent sand hills and dunes and whatever, right? And stay there out of the West because you guys are atrocious and your religion is atrocious and ugly, disgusting, pedophilic, full of rapists, pedophiles, murderers, right? And you guys defend them. So yeah, this is Islam for those who don't understand why I always speak out against it. Right? Even Lebanon said it's worse than I thought. Right? And this is why I get annoyed with like leftist Westerners and Westerners in general who don't know and just convert over to Islam all the time. And then they go, this Islam is a religion of peace. Islam should be all about LGBT. They don't know that LGBT gay people get thrown off buildings and they get ropes tied to the legs and they get run around on the roads, right? Pulled behind cars. They get hung. They get tortured, right? They get beaten up. But yeah, that's all right though. They think that the Islam is like Christianity, like everybody's allowed to be whatever they want to be. I know there's like, Christianity, you got the rules, right? Because you got to have rules in society. And Christianity's got its 10 commandments, right? So you got to live by that. So when these people think that, when they convert to Islam, they think it's the same thing. But they never read what Islam is. I mean, I wonder if you can see Islamics. How do you become a Muslim after seeing a person just blow themselves up in the middle of a crowd of strangers? How do you think that's the religion you want to join? Right? So I'm going to leave that with you. But thank you for hanging out with me, all of you. I see you out there. Thank you so much. If you can pop over to my, to the channels, either Monkey King of Zealandia channel, this one, or Plunge Comics. I'm also on Rumble, just putting up some music at the moment, but we'll see what happens. And thank you to my, here's a link, by the way. Thank you to my co-host. He's in the back, but I just told him that I'm going to be closing up here, but I'm going to bring him on to say his little piece for today. Tim.
Damn my lateness. It was made Seattle Seahawks won the game, and so we were all kind of happy about it. Of course, I kind of realized that the halftime show is actually probably pre-recorded because when they were watching that, there's this on FoxSports.com. There's this field thing that you can actually watch the play-by-play, and the third quarter was already started when they were watching the halftime show.
Right.
So either it's they're watching like something different time zone maybe, so they're watching things are ahead of schedule or whatever. But yeah, Seattle won, and it's Super Bowl win number 2. So
Yeah, like I said, if you guys want to support us, you can check out Tim's work. You can get it through Amazon, which is a really cool way to, just support Tim. And
Yeah.
if you want to support me, he's got books up there. If you want to support me, basically, both Tim and I guess I won't speak for him, but for me, if you want to give something, I want to make sure that you get something in return. So I have a Western manga up that my artist Tomas has drawn. We got the first issue going to Kickstarter soon in March, and there was 2 comics going out there, so you guys can check that out on Ko-Fi. But manga is on the Ko-Fi. I'm putting up like a chapter every week, so you can read it and see if you like it, and then you can support it if you want on Kickstarter. Tim, of course, he's on Amazon, and there's his link for all his stuff.
Yeah,
and you can find his links there.
You can definitely order the books, and you'll get them within a reasonable time. You won't be waiting 5 or 6 years to get a book.
All right, so actually, I think I have a problem with trying to play that full screen, so I'm going to move that out. So let me go to, I always say let me, as like asking permission, because usually, it's polite to ask permission, right? So dashboard content, here we go. So I wrote the song the other day, the lyrics to it, and then I chose AI to make the music the way I like it, and this is one of the first ones I put up. So before you go, Tim, do you want to say your goodbyes?
Yeah, see you around, everybody. I'll be talking crap to Last Man on his stream was it Mondays and Wednesdays? I'll be
Awesome.
on here when we have whenever that is, right? I don't know. If
Friday is our next one. So yes, Friday, Saturday, New Zealand.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And then of course I'll be hanging out with Hero Shack on their channel, and
awesome.
I would definitely be saying funny shit in Lord Raptor Jesus' chat for sure.
Yeah, we'll be trolling.
Yes,
we'll be trolling.
Greatly.
All right, guys. So here's this lyrics. These are my lyrics, by the way, but I had AI, do up the music. So thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. Really, really appreciate it. All the best. Catch you on the flip side.
Kingdom, rest my throne under the rule of the new cruel gorilla king. There in the green of the vines he sits upon my father's throne. Take the usurper's head off, make him cower before me in fear. I hear my father's voice call out, I hear him call from the grave. My heart grows faint with despair. The blood of my father calls to me from the ground where his blood fell by the sword of the usurper king. The very blood of my royal lines takes the usurper's head off, make him cower before me in fear. from the grave. The blood of my father calls to me. The ghost of my grandfather calls to me. Here in the jungle, I hear them in my mind. The trees whisper to fight for what's mine, to bring low the gorilla king's throne. Take the usurper's head off, make him cower before me in fear. I hear my father's voice call out, I hear him call from the grave. Blood rains across the land, the old usurper lies dead. His blood sprays across my face, his head lies at my feet at last. The throne is mine, the kingdom is mine, my father reigns. Silent in his grave, at peace once again. Take the usurper's head off, make him cower before me in fear.
Yeah, I just saw Wiggle in the chat.
Oh yeah, bring him on. He's hilarious.
Yeah, Wiggle. I can send you. I'll give you. We were just about to close, but I mean, would you like to come on for a couple of minutes? Just let me know in the chat. Got about three. What do we call it? Got about count of 4, 5, maybe. Right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I guess he's he just popped in. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, I might be able for a minute. So I guess he can pop on for a minute.
Yeah, I think he's gone. But thank you. Oh, all right. Oh, I see it. All right, man. Here's a link. Come and say hello. You're allowed to what is that word? You're allowed to harass my co-host.
Yeah, I guess that's the kind of the thing that they want to try to do.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, let me play. Once you show up, I will play a special little intro once you pop up. In the meantime, man, I hope you guys are enjoying these streams. I know they can be hardcore. Some of the subjects we cover, because I'm the one who actually brings them on. Tim just basically comes along for the ride and helps me out, and which I really appreciate, by the way. I tried doing this by myself previously, and it just doesn't work. So I thank you for handling the heavy stuff with me. I know it's heavy. It's it's one of those things where a lot of people don't know what's going on. And
yeah, I know. I even tried to enter that pro grifter tournament. Was knocked out the first round.
Yeah, he's not a good grifter at all. I mean,
I'm a colossal failure at being a grifter. I should be ashamed.
I got called a grifter today, so I'm quite it was quite humorous. Humorous, I say. Humorous?
Humorous. Yes, quite humorous.
Yeah, because humorous, isn't it like a bone on your leg or something?
Yes, I believe it is.
Now, I did this other song, man, like that was like really hardcore, like the deep loose bass. And I made 6 songs in one night, guys. I wrote 6 individual songs in one night and did like about 4 versions minimum of each one, like 2 with a female, and then I'll do 2 with a male, and then 2 with a female for each song. And I got then you can choose like which one you want. But like one thing I noticed was that what I wrote down for prompts for the music style, the same female voice would show up and the same male voice would show up. And so I was like, this is it. If somebody can sing like this, and if I can get people from the world to make music, take this and transcribe this into a song, break it down into music, that you can read and, on paper, whatever, and then also tablature, and then go out there and make these songs into actual physical songs that a human band could make. That'd be cool. Because like then you could like here's my 6 songs being played by some people around the world for real. The reason I say that is because I watched this girl do this as well. I think it was in Japan, and she did this play the music, and then like with AI, and then she actually got real people to be a band before her, and she sang it. It was great. I thought that was very cool, and that's my idea behind the whole creating these songs, is that to be able to write the lyrics myself, pace it out myself, do the chorus, bridge, and all that, and then let the AI do it. But then actually see if people want to turn that into real music. Right. Wiggle, you ready, Bart? I don't see you at the back. Maybe he wasn't at home when he was like, or maybe wasn't near his computer or something. Maybe he was on the mobile.
Sometimes people just go in and out of stream, so he might have missed it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, here's the link button in the chat. Now, let me remove that, and so let me see if I'm going to play in the meantime while we wait for Wiggle, because I would like to have Wiggle on because it's just cool. Because I was on, he got me on a stream. I mean, he let me on a stream the other day just to talk because I saw a Lasmet there, and here we go. Didn't have to even play it. So here's, let me just turn this friggin' thing on before it starts playing and do a special intro.
The time. I don't think like that. I always feel like a hot young star, on the other hand. You know what I mean? Why not? Why not? I say that in jest. It neither has any meaning nor doesn't have it. I mean, everyone should think of themselves as that,
There you go.
What's up? Hey, Wiggle.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, good, bud. What's up?
Oh, not much. I was actually getting ready to type. Now I'm not going to come in because I didn't know you guys were in there. But yeah, I've been sick all weekend. That's why you haven't seen me anywhere.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, well, it's all right. I'm feeling better, a little bit better now.
Oh yeah, you the few streams you sounded terrible, like you smoked like
That was a
carton of cigarettes.
That was the flu, and then I got a stomach bug this past weekend. It's just been one after another, man.
It's a tsunami of shit.
Yeah, I've just been catching every bug that's floating around. Lost my voice again. It's coming back. Yeah, I got my voice back completely, then I lost it again.
Now I'm sure
too much.
I'm sure Monkey King has seen the stream where you're e-fapping Shane's meltdown.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Do you know where Wiggle? Do you have that clip?
It's on. I think Alyssa Clips has it. She has the superior version of it.
Yeah. Because at the start, we're talking about it, and is it this one here?
Like, shut the fuck up. Like.
It was about this, right? So let me put this stream, this little clip on, and then I'll go look for his Shane's response. And by the way, I'll let you guys talk about this because
I saw this. Yeah.
Yeah. It took forever for him to get through. Wait, did he e-fap it for 3 hours?
Yeah,
no, he didn't e-fap this one. No. This is a new one. This is his response. This is Steel Toe's response
good.
To Shane Davis.
Oh,
I will
okay.
not. Stick,
So-
I cannot stick around for this. I cannot.
Oh,
Because I still
you-
have
you
my
have-
voice back.
All right.
So
Oh,
yeah,
Can
I'll
I-
just pop in.
Speed it? Okay, hold on. So if it's not this one, so which one was it?
The one with Shane Davis.
Yeah, so because I don't know which one. So which one? Oh, hold on. Darn it.
You totally can
Go
see
to
it
the
on
videos.
Google Stream or even Raptors. It's all
She
there.
posted it. It's in there, but she posts a lot of stuff, so you're gonna have to look.
That's the thing. Yeah, I was like, that's why I don't know which one it is that he went through.
The one with him in the thumbnail. If you scroll down, you'll find it. She posted it.
I
Oh, which
kind of feel
Shane?
like she's. I kind
Yeah,
of
with
feel
Shane.
like she's the answer to K Diddy.
Why am I not seeing? I know she did. She definitely posted it. It should be above that. Why am I not seeing it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I haven't been here recently, so I have no idea which one it is because no refunds allowed. We talked about that the other day. Mikey No More, Comics Ed, Ethan Skyver's Ponzi scheme. We covered that the other day.
I know she posted. It was 9 minutes long. And I'm
Oh
not
yeah, so this
seeing
is it. Is this it? This
Yeah,
must
that's
be
it right there. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's it.
I tried to explain, Aaron.
Okay. All right. So shall I put on speed because I know he talks really
No, I'm not.
slow.
I can't stick around for any
Yeah, I
EFAP.
don't want to sit through it again. I just wanted to talk about how funny it was.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I can't stick around. I don't have my voice all the way back. I was just
okay. So I'll put the link in the chat for people to check it out. I'll leave
Yeah,
this
there you
alone.
go.
You have to admit it's really kind of funny though. Just one guy has an opinion and he loses his shit.
Yeah.
And then he just keeps saying words like and then shut the fuck up and and
I just keeps calling him a cuck the whole time. He doesn't respond to any of the.
cock. Yeah, that
at all.
was his go-to insult.
Yeah, that was his go-to word. Like he just wouldn't. He didn't address anything Aaron said at all. He just kept calling him a cuck over and over and over again. Which I mean, okay, yeah, he's a cuck. Yeah, we know. We're aware. We're all aware of the lore. Got it. Okay, now can you
refute his claims?
Yeah, refute his claims of what he's saying. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, my voice is pretty much spent. It's already starting.
All
to
right,
work.
dude. Hey,
But,
thank
I
you for
appreciate-
coming on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. I wish I could stay longer and bullshit, but unfortunately, it's not the cards because
That's okay,
I'm all
man.
about
All good.
bullshitting to nobody.
Continue.
All right, dude.
Cool, that's all I have to say.
I came with the bot army, as you can see.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Brian.
All right, man. Good night.
Oh, and
Peace
by the
out.
way, buy his book.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't buy my book. It's sold out.
Oh.
Soon,
All right.
Soon you can buy the book.
Yes, soon. So soon buy the book.
Soon. The reprint. You'll be able to buy the reprint. It'll be great.
Indeed.
See you.
All
guys.
right.
Peace.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of the stream. Thank you for the second time, I should say, the end of the stream. But thank you, Wiggle, for coming on and saying hello to everybody and to us. So we'll catch you in the next stream, guys, on Friday US, Saturday New Zealand.
Yes.
We down here, we're always a day ahead. It's Monday today. So ka kite anō, be well, stay kind to each other,
Peace.
and we'll see you next time. Bye. I should say, stay kind to your loved ones. And
Yep.
catch you on the flip side.
Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
All right. Bye for now.
Nope. Can't stay here anymore. I gotta get back. I think this was the spot. Oh Lord, I beseech thee, please return me to my old life. I swear I'll do anything. Like literally anything. And I won't bother you again,